You have arrived at your destination.
You are now a loyal follower of the Villain District Podcast.
I'm going to go ahead and apologize for the amount of coughing I'm going to do again. I think this is our third podcast.
You smoke cigarettes?
I don't.
No.
I just got sick.
Just nature's rampage.
About 3.5 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sick anymore, but I'm coughing like
I've had those before.
It's like some kind of
Don't cough too much. I feel like I'll start coughing. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things.
Sympathy coughs.
Yes, exactly.
I know the listeners can't see, but I've got two I've got two on deck. Two cough drops on deck right by my keyboard.
Ready to go.
And yeah, I'm ready to go. What's up, guys? What's cracking?
Hey,
do you like our format so far?
Yeah, this is great.
It'll be the least formal format.
We're sitting here with Stan, also known as Stanley, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Stanley Chase III.
That's right.
That's what your Facebook says.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. That's because my dad's on Facebook, and a lot of times he posts up stuff, and people are like, "I didn't know you were pro guns," which they still do, even with the second and third.
Yeah. So you're just trying to keep.
You're a Limbaugh fan?
Yeah. That's pretty good. That's good. So no, if it's got a 3,
right?
If it's
that's
marked,
me.
if it's marked by the Trinity,
right,
then it's clear. You're good.
Right. Yeah. I actually just learned that today because I got some of your fine jerky because I didn't want to show up and be like, I actually haven't tasted it yet. You know what I mean?
Well,
and so I was like, today
I brought some in.
I'm going to taste
for you guys
it
to try. Yeah.
Oh well, thank you.
I got some of the small batch stuff too.
Ooh, very nice.
So small batch, is that like bourbon style? Do you make a certain amount? And we're getting right into it. Maybe let's back up.
Let's back up.
So last summer, I was sitting at a coffee shop, Sunnergoss or something on South Preston, and I think I was actually working on. It must have been longer ago then, because I was working on the tune for this podcast. So this is pre this podcast, right? And I was working on the tune
in the coffee shop.
For our intro. It was like, okay, I'm an audio engineer, right?
Yeah.
I've
this
got
is an embarrassing story.
I've
for
got
him
lots of virtual instruments. I got real instruments.
Right. No, I just think that's we're living in that world.
Yeah.
Like I make money doing this stuff.
Yeah.
And I decided to make our podcast intro on GarageBand in a coffee shop. I used the little in GarageBand you can hit Command K, and then your typing keyboard becomes a musical keyboard.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend, I'm sitting there with her, Tiffany, and she's a vegetarian. She's been a vegetarian for 4 years, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Long time.
Yep.
And that's not that long compared to some people, I guess. But she stumbled upon this vegan jerky, and I'm thinking she either bought it there, like on the counter, or at a coffee shop somewhere or something, and she's like, "You got to try this." I'm like, I don't know. If I like it, good. But if I don't like it, it's like,
right.
I don't want to like whatever. And she's like, just try it. I was like, okay. Like I'm not like anti like vegetarian or vegan. I eat lots of vegetables, too many vegetables actually.
Right.
And yeah, I
got a lot of vegetable friends.
Right. But I tried this jerky, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
This is another level of vegan food. And it's okay, what did she tell me to say? She said I'm supposed to ask you about the it's not mallard, but it's some she's also like a chemistry person. And there's this certain oh wow, this is derailing really fast. There's this certain chemical reaction that happens when it comes to certain meat to give it the texture that it has, and she's like, whatever that is, you've cracked the code on it.
Well, yeah, I know. It's like I don't know. There's so many different types of fake meat out there, like tofu, of course,
Yeah.
and then there's like seitan, which is like wheat gluten, and then there's like so the stuff we use is everybody thinks it's TVP, which is like from what I understand, TVP is a byproduct. So it's textured vegetable protein. It's not very good for you.
Oh,
like
okay.
it's apparently not good for your stomach, but ours is not that. It's high pressure extruded soybeans.
Oh,
So
okay.
they take the whole bean. There's nothing else in there. Just they take the whole bean, they mill it, and then they separate the oil from the bean. They press it all out, and then they high pressure extrude the paste that comes out looking like our jerky.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
it dries out, and then they spray the oil back on. So they use the entire bean. So,
Oh, wow.
So a lot
Interesting.
a lot of times, a lot of like soy extrusion takes the oil out, and they just don't put it back in.
Yeah.
But we do.
Yeah.
So so you can say we use the whole bean, instead of it being partial, right? Which some people are weird about,
Right.
Yeah.
being processed.
So
or
is that
whatever.
how you get how it's sort of it's dry like a jerky dry, right? But it's not like super dry. Like there's still that you're talking about putting
Right.
the oil back on. Does that have to do
Yeah.
with that? Like
No.
mouthfeel or
No, so the first time, and like the story behind how I figured out the jerky was, I've been cooking with this stuff for years, and I had it in my head that because if you are holding this extruded soy, it's like it looks like Captain Crunch, but like long pieces, like French fry size.
okay.
I mean, it's hard. It's rock hard.
Yeah.
You put it in water. Within minutes, it's soaked up. Whatever you put it in like a sponge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really
Oh, wow.
quick. So I had never put it in the oven for the years I cooked with it because it. I thought that it would get back to that Captain Crunch like texture.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I would saute with it. We won a Taste of Frankfurt one year with it, making like barbecue pork sliders.
Oh, cool.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like really versatile. I mean,
Yeah.
and you can saute it, you can fry it, you can do all kinds of stuff. I never baked it, and then one night I baked it when I was trying to make char siu, which is like this Korean barbecue, and I left it in the oven too long, way longer than I would have, and then smelled it. I was like, oh shit! Ran in and grabbed it out of the oven, and before I tossed it, I tried it, and it was pretty close to what's in these bags now.
Wow.
But it was just I had been cooking vegan food for many years.
Sure.
And I knew I'm obsessed with products, like in general. Like I've always been really into I don't know, like especially food products. I follow it really closely, and I know exactly what is out there to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's when it comes to jerky, and I knew there was nothing like that.
Yeah. I mean, I've tried some like vegan, like meat substitute. I've tried a lot of stuff, and I like a lot of it. But this was the first thing that I ate that I like. I think I might prefer this.
Right.
This is like
Yeah.
this is another level of thing.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I think it's pretty close. I mean, and I'm still like really insecure about it when we go to like jerky and meat festivals.
Sure.
Because I'm standing around a bunch of like the meat guys, like
Right.
the butchers, and we always become friends by the end of the day.
Sure.
But like when I first show up, I mean, man,
A little bit
like,
of bias toward.
And they're like,
Yeah,
"What'd you
toward what you're
kill,
bringing."
boy? What'd you kill to make that?"
Yeah. Which for a long time we got like the. I mean, we would probably get it. I'm not kidding. Like 2 or 3 dozen times a festival where somebody would come up and say, "So what do you make it out of? Do you make it out of vegans or whatever?"
Oh, I see.
And the first time it was like, "Oh, that's pretty funny."
Right.
And then the
That's
second
pretty
and the third, and then it's like 2 years later, here we are, and I was like, we get this so often that I put it on the box. I put not made from vegans. So it's hilarious though because we just did the Flea Off Market like a month ago, and some woman came up and like, I mean, she saw us, 40 feet away, and I saw the joke enter her head, and I was just like, and I saw her walking over, and she was just like, just so proud, and she was just like, tell me something, just out of vegans, and I was just like pointed to the box and like just deflated her, like right there.
It's like, ma'am, you are not original, unique.
I have to
snowflake.
say, I am a
was
little
pretty
disappointed of myself that I didn't think of that joke. Like that would never have occurred to me. That's
I didn't think of it until I read it on the package, and I'm like,
oh right, yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I don't know. I like the brand to be like self-aware and to have a sense of humor, because people, you know how it is on Facebook or wherever you see people having these dialogues about vegan food. It's usually like really like just angry.
Sure.
Yeah. I noticed a lot.
You don't
of
ever
people,
see positive like feedback on that stuff. It seems online.
Well, it feels like a lot of people take it as like, if you have like a vegan product, it's a personal attack on their lifestyle in general.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So they get really defensive, and then they start saying how it's bad for you not to ever eat meat, or to eat another animal. Well,
I think and believe me, I've been through this like kind of over my head over and over and over for years.
Yeah.
With like what. I think people do take it personal, but I do think that like people are mirrors, like all the time. They're just mirroring. And I think that when you say you don't do something, if you don't eat meat, they automatically feel threatened, like you're like challenging their where they stand in the world. And a lot of times, maybe sometimes people are. It's just to their credit. Maybe sometimes people are. They've got like the "fuck you, I'm vegan" shirt or whatever,
right?
And that is like really just like all right, like there maybe there is something being said there, but like a lot of times, I'll just be like at a cookout and somebody will be like, "You want a burger?" And this was many years ago before I was. Or it was easy to be vegetarian, which it is pretty easy now.
Yeah.
But people would be kind of like, they would think that it was aggressive to say like, "Oh, I don't eat meat."
Yeah. Well, it seems like there's, and I don't know if this is if you've experienced this as being the case, but I feel like there's the potential for like you're saying something ethical, right?
Yeah.
You're saying that not you, but the broad you.
Right.
No, I've heard him say he does say.
I see. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, to say like, no, I don't eat meat can be interpreted whether you mean it to be or not.
Yeah.
Right. Some people do, and
What
some
are you
people don't.
saying about me?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like maybe you shouldn't eat something that suffered really bad.
I
before it
shouldn't
died,
keep putting that accent on this.
Yeah, what does that mean, Joe?
It mean what
does that mean? Sounds like you're from our hometown. What does that mean?
I'm being bad.
All right. But yeah, I think there's that like ethical dimension that people might get defensive about. But so I was going to ask you. I was reading over the back of your jerky package today, and it was talking about when you discovered it. Right, you took it to a bar.
Yeah.
And started handing it out. I was just wondering if we could get some more sort of insight into that story. How did that work?
Well, I left my house. I burned that char siu.
Yeah.
And this sounds like such a made up story. Like I've told it so many times now too, that where, I mean, because I watch Shark Tank and I watch all these other shows, and everybody has this grandiose story or whatever they like to tell about. I mean, it really. I had two roommates and my current wife. Or my wife. She wasn't my wife at the time, but my wife and I, we lived in this big house in the Highlands, and there were four of us. And when this happened, everybody in the house was excited. When it happened, because we were just like, "This is so good," And like I just had this giant bag, and we were going up to the bar anyways. I just threw it in a bag, in several Ziploc bags, and I had a whole tray of it. There was quite a bit of it, and we took it up, and I saw a couple friends of mine, and we were up at Knock Bar. So I'd been going there for a while. And I was passing out, and then somebody was like, "Hey, can I go let my friend try?" Oh yeah. And then before I knew it, the bags were being passed around. And I had some girl came up to me and said, "Hey, my husband and I are vegetarian. Like, where can we buy this stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah, like, yeah, you can.
I'll take your money."
Yep.
Yeah, no, but I had it out on the shelf. I mean, maybe 3 weeks later.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
really?
Yeah, and it was like just a Honey Brothers.
Yeah.
But like I had it up. Like because at that time I had the food truck, and I also had a sandwich business that I was running where we delivered wraps at Honey Brothers and Rainbow Blossom. And stuff.
Oh, gotcha, cool.
So I was already, this was like the third business I had in like 2 years.
Yeah.
Because I started on Kickstarter with a food truck, and then I started doing sandwiches and sold the food truck, and then for a while I was doing the sandwiches and the jerky, and then the jerky, once we started selling at Honey Brothers and Rainbow Blossom, we started getting it a couple other places, but like the first year we didn't really sell much. It was like 100 bags a month, if that.
Yeah.
So it was really, really small for the first year, and then a company in Oregon called Food Fight picked us up, and then they started tweeting about it, and then we just started getting orders, just from all over the country. So that's when we stopped doing the sandwiches and just focused completely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Very
And
cool.
I know you said you're insecure about it, but like a product that's this good, like that's exciting that like you land on this product and then you get like an opportunity for people to start ordering it, because once they eat it, they might want some more of it.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm just insecure about like I think it's just I just don't like rejection.
Right.
Like it's just
Why?
Why? I'm just a white 30-year-old guy.
The rest of us love that. The rest of us love it.
Yeah.
So.
No, my brother. But it's funny because everybody else that works for me, and I've got like 9 employees now, and the UPS guy comes in, the plumbers come in, the construction is coming. All these people come in, and they're like they start asking about, what are you guys doing in here? You know. And we'll give them a bag, and I'm like, I gotta leave the room, because I take it real personal. But they're all standing around, they're always, they'll give it to anybody, and if somebody's like tastes like shit, like they're like, all right, it doesn't really matter to them. Whereas me, and you know what? I mean, honestly, I have heard everything. I don't really. Yeah. It's not like I start to weep. Yeah. I'm just like, I get uncomfortable where I'm like, I feel like I should apologize after somebody's like, this tastes bad. Like, I'm sorry.
Sorry you had to eat that.
Right. Yeah, it's here's the weird thing. The hard thing for me, and it sounds and feels kind of silly to say it, but when you're eating something and you feel like for example, like on your box, right, on the side it says "keep it fake," right?
Yeah.
So whenever you're eating something that is supposed to mimic meat, it's supposed to mimic
right.
It's like a beef jerky, for example. It's hard to get over the fact that that you feel like it's trying to be something else, if that makes sense.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're eating something as food, if you say this is food and you put it in your mouth, it tastes so good. The texture's good. It tastes so good, regardless of how meat-like it is. Like, that's the thing that, like, for anyone to say that jerky tastes bad, it's because they say that doesn't taste exactly like beef. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not saying it tastes bad. They're saying this is weird because I don't understand this.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
And I'm sure there are
Most
people
definitely.
that just don't like a nice salty treat.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, and I totally get that. I mean, I know a lot of people that are just picky eaters in general. You can't please everybody. I mean,
no.
And so I mean, I think with the jerky though, I just always assume that people are gonna spit it out or something, but but normally they don't, But I'm just so I don't know. I'm much more of like, I do a lot more of the creative stuff behind the brand now, and like a lot of the marketing, and that's the stuff I really like. That's the stuff I was doing. I was doing some graphic design and music stuff, and video stuff and comedy stuff before I got into this.
Oh, cool.
So that's kind of where I'm starting to grab. I'm we just got a director of sales in place now. We've got like, a shipping department and a receiving department, a production crew, and like
It's like Dunder Mifflin.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
It's like what?
Dunder Mifflin
What is that?
From The Office?
Is that the American version?
It is.
I sound really smug saying that. No, I never really watched it.
I'm a vegan and I don't watch the American version of The Office.
I heard it coming out of my mouth. I knew what I was getting myself into. No, I love the British version of The Office. Yeah. And my roommates binged watched the American version for like 6 weeks straight.
Yeah.
And hogged the television. I think I was rubbed a little wrong. Yeah.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's about time to give it another go.
Hey, no, I'll watch it. I'm not above it. I'm just saying I never really watched it.
Well, you were talking about doing like
now that everybody thinks I'm an asshole.
Yeah. You were talking about doing like music stuff and design stuff and all this. I mean, you sound like a super versatile guy. Like when we met you, it was that we were out at a bar, and when was this? This was like earlier this year, maybe.
Yeah, it was the episode.
It was winter, right?
6.
Oh, right. Yeah, it was.
But I feel like it wasn't. I mean, this winter was so tolerable.
I think it was. The
we were standing outside.
We were at Kaiju.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. We were at Kaiju. It was the episode 6 premiere for Bagged and Board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And afterward, I don't remember how we met or who introduced us.
We all started chatting, and then you guys started talking about music equipment and stuff like that, and home recording and things like that.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you were like, I was like, oh, what do you do? He's like, oh, I make this thing. I'm like, oh my God, I know you.
Yeah. So I mean, that made me think like you have very versatile interests. It seems like, right? You're talking about comedy and all this stuff, but you also clearly are like this entrepreneurial type, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you were talking about having 3 businesses or something. That's just super interesting. Have you always been like that? Like, very, like,
man, I guguess so. I don't know. Like, I don't think that's something I ever really noticed about. Or I notice it more about myself as I get older. But I don't know. Like, I know when I was in my late teens, like early 20s, I felt like I couldn't put my attention into anything for more than like a week or two, or it just felt like that. Like I would have so many fleeting interests. Like,
right.
Like I mean, just to give you an example, I graduated high school and joined the Army.
Okay.
Like I don't know why.
Okay.
And I got into the Army and I was like, this is awful. And like just like got out. And then like I mean, it was like totally impulsive.
It wasn't like a long time dream to join the Army or anything. It was just
I just jumped in.
Okay.
And then I was like, this is awful. And what am I doing? And I got out and then I started doing music, and I did that for years. I thought that's what I wanted to do the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I was delivering pizzas during the day, and then bartending at night, and then playing shows whenever I could.
Totally.
And that was my life for like a long time. And at that age, 5 years feels like 20. So it just felt like a huge part of my life. And now I run into people that I used to make music with or do stuff with, and it just feels like a dream. Oh, right. Because it just doesn't feel like it ever really happened. Because the last 5 years have just been business, and I've been so encapsulated with that I don't know. It's hard for me to even imagine. I kind of I'm really nostalgic though, so I look back on those days a lot and just kind of like, man, that was crazy. I don't feel any. But like I brought that synthesizer in here the other day with you. Like I still have like a draw towards. Even if I was just making stuff that nobody would ever really listen to, just to make it,
Sure, yeah.
I still like doing that, Yeah.
Sure. Well, it sounds like you're like a creative type in general. Like you're talking about the branding and stuff.
Yeah. No, I love. I think there's always been like any of us that like, or if you're in the creative world at all, like there's just like nothing like the high of like making something and then seeing it done. Yeah. Even if it doesn't really, it's successful. It's just like doing a project, and the older I get, the harder it is to follow through. Sure, with whatever it is. Yeah.
And I think it's important to once you start something, especially something creative, like to force yourself to see it through, because it's really like if you want to make this thing, if you want to start this thing and finish this thing, it's you have no motivation to do it other than you want to do this thing, right? Right. So. At times, if you don't feel inspired, you're not going to feel inspired to do something creative every time you pick up or put your keys on your hand.
That never works out for me. So if I sit down to be like, I'm going to do something creative right now, nothing
doesn't work.
Nothing comes out.
So I mean, it is. There's something rewarding about just finishing something. Forcing yourself to push this thing out. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and then you have it. I mean,
and then you have it.
Like you were saying, even if it's not, I think you were saying even if it's not like fully successful or something like that. I even think, like you were saying, even if nobody ends up seeing it or hearing it or whatever, just the fact that it exists is. I mean, of course, it's nicer to have everybody see it or hear it and really enjoy it, whatever it is, your creative project. But even if it just exists, that's better than it not existing. I guess
there's something really interesting about. You're talking about that kind of insecure nature of like being afraid someone's going to spit your jerky out, right?
Right.
Because like there's something very intimate about someone eating something you've made, right?
Oh, right. Interesting.
Like, they're consuming it. They're fueling themselves with this thing that you've made.
Well, when you think about it, like with anything you make, that's what I was going to say earlier. Yeah. Like even if it's a song you made and somebody's like, nah, you're like. All right.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I've tried it and no thanks. At least you have honest friends, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but think about playing your music for a stranger at a flea market, and they're like, nah.
Like, no. Yeah. Well, for me, like I toured in a band for like 6 or 7 years, like straight, like coast to coast. That was our lives. That's what we were going to do. And there's nothing more defeating than like driving all day to that show, spending all your money on gas, setting up your merch table, 3 people there.
Yeah.
And they're the opening band.
Yeah, and they're the opening band.
Yeah.
And like they care. Yeah, they care.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But like this is your thing.
Right.
This thing is me. This is me. I'm giving myself to you.
Yeah.
And no one cares. Nobody cares.
Right. So how did you make the move from sort of playing shows and hanging out and working odd jobs to like being more business minded? I mean, not to the sort of full fledged like what you're doing now, but
I didn't go to school like I should have. I didn't go to college. I went to Full Sail for like a minute. Just like I was at Full Sail for the same amount of time I was in the Army. Like, just got there and I was like, get me out of here. But I don't know. I always had I definitely had like an interest in doing something. I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And like I remember even when I was making music, I was trying to like create a T-shirt that somebody would want to buy, or like or like fun merchandise or whatever. And I didn't recognize it at the time, but I think those gears were starting to get moving in me, like how can I sell something or whatever.
Sure.
But I ran this blog for a while, and I got a little taste of fame when I made. Remember when KFC released that Double Down?
Oh yeah,
or whatever it was,
like chicken on top of chicken.
It was like a chicken bun, with like bacon and cheese in the middle, and like I was living in Philadelphia with my wife at the time, and I had this blog called 8-Bit Vegan, and had like, I don't know, 200 visits a month or something. Yeah, and it wasn't that big, but I had some followers, and I saw the Double Down, and I made it vegan. Okay. Or like, and I made it look really good, and then I posted up my blog, and it got on BuzzFeed, and this was like BuzzFeed 2009 or something. So it was still pretty fresh.
BuzzFeed was sizzling back then.
Yeah. But not a lot of people knew about it. I mean, I remember people my age were into it, like 25-year-olds, but it was not what it is.
It wasn't mainstream media. Yeah.
Nothing like it. It is now. Yeah. But either way, I made it on the front page, and it was like, this guy veganized the Double Down or something. And I got like tons of traffic. Yeah. And
how'd it taste?
It was awesome.
Was it?
Yeah. No, I still make a lot of fried chicken. Like, that's one of my favorite things to do. But yeah, so I was like, I had a bunch of people emailing me, and like I kept posting up blog entries after that, and I got a lot of people asking me if I would ever release like a recipe book, and I was like, oh man, like maybe that's what I'm going to do. Like maybe I can sell a recipe book. Like I can make a recipe book, and I can like veganize like really unhealthy things. Yeah, so that's what I'm into. And anyways, I moved to Philly and started working at this restaurant called Horizons, which was like, it was one of the top 2 vegan restaurants in the country, and I just like tripped and fell into a job there. Wow. I didn't really, work. I don't know. I just was in the right place at the right time, and I got a job there. And it was the first time I'd ever seen somebody that I related to doing something like business wise or whatever. Oh, so I was just instantly drawn in by the owner of the place, and he was really enthusiastic and about the business. And we left, and before I left, he was telling me that he started with like a tiny vegetarian hot dog cart, and he worked his way up and up and up and up over the years. Yeah. So he was like, "You should just start small, man. Like do something small or whatever." So I started the food truck. Yeah. When I came back to Louisville, and that was in I ran the Kickstarter in November of 2010, I think. And then once that started, man, it was terrifying. Like I had no idea how to do taxes. I didn't know what a bookkeeper did. I didn't know anything. Yeah. I knew nothing. I knew absolutely nothing. I mean, I seriously, just jumped right in, much like I did everything else in my life without really asking any questions. And I don't know. It just stuck because I liked it a whole lot. I like working for myself. That's why I think that's what I always wanted to do. I didn't know that. Until I started doing it, where I was like, oh, maybe that's why I've been like fighting the man my whole life. It's because I just want to be self-employed. And not like be, controlled by anybody or whatever. Sure. But but yeah, and you know, and then I just kept at that. I mean, and there was many dark days. I didn't pay myself for, gosh, I mean, almost 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, and just struggling every month. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes, you know, there was one time, one of my darkest days. I was like, it was around Christmas time. I had 2 employees, and I could only pay one of them.
Oh man!
And I was like, you guys, I was like, I don't know how to say this. And they were like so cool about it. Like I was like,
oh, man.
Which one of you needs to get paid more? And one of them stepped up. There was like, man, I can wait till next week. And I was just like, oh my God, thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know,
oh, wow.
it was like, I mean, so many days. I had so many days like that. It was awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know,
huh? That's cool. I mean, that's part of the. I feel like that's part of what makes success stories so cool when they are cool. You know what I mean? Is if you have some like struggle at the beginning. If you were like, you know, it was easy.
I was a trust fund
kid.
Yeah,
I had it. Yeah. I had $400,000, and I just used that. And, you know, and here I am.
Right.
So, I mean, that's still good. Whatever, but.
No, I think, but I mean, you know, I see this all the time. I see it. I see people, companies. I know a company locally. I won't say the name of it, obviously.
Sure.
And whatever.
What's the company?
It's Papa John's. No, I know this company that, you know, and it's not just this company. I read I'm on a lot of business forums, and I've also read a lot about independent businesses and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's a cliche where somebody comes in, they've got some money, and you know, if they lose $200,000, it's not like it's not going to affect them, but they're like, okay, I'm going to do this again in 5 years, kind of thing. Yeah. But they'll either buy an idea or put an idea out there. Like let's just say you've got $200,000 that really isn't going to kill you if you lost it, and your brother-in-law has this great chocolate popcorn, and you just love it.
Yeah,
you love it, and he starts making it for everybody, and he's selling it at farmers markets, and you guys sell out in an hour. Well, you're like, I'm going to put $200,000 into this, and you go full balls to the wall. You build a production studio or manufacturing facility. You've got everything. You put all this money into marketing. You put all this money into branding. You know, blah 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 blah. And then 3 months later, you've got this beautiful packaged popcorn. But now you've got the real job, which is getting it placed all over the country. Right. And before you know it, you're hemorrhaging so much money, you're screwed. You just shut the whole thing down. Yeah. It happens every single day. Yeah. But with companies like mine, I had like $500 when I started my company. So I just like squeaked by. Yeah. And you know, people try to scale too quick, and they go out of business really, really fast.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So I didn't have that, you know, luxury of having any money, so I kind of avoided that whole pitfall, you know, just by default or whatever.
Yeah. So just uncontrolled growth is just, I don't know, dangerous.
Well, I mean,
I know nothing about business, so I'm learning.
No. It's just it's very common that people that have a lot of money will tank a business. Because I'll give you this perfect example. This was a Shark Tank episode I was watching. But this guy had went in and had this idea to have a security alarm for a phone or whatever, where you could essentially hit a button and it would dial the police. Start shooting bullets out everywhere. It would like call the police, and then it would start recording and give your GPS signal to the police. I don't know. It was this whole thing. Yeah. But the guy went in with like a $400,000 budget, and he paid the software engineers what they asked for, which was like $300,000, and he paid that because he had it. Yeah, you know, and they told him that. They were like, if you didn't have that money, you would have figured out another way to do this. Yeah, or you wouldn't have done it at all. Yeah. And you know, and then by the time he was on the show, the software was totally outdated. Yeah, there are way more apps that are way more smart than that. You know, but the guy was out the money because he had it. You know, and I don't know. It seems to happen all the time. Yeah. Where mediocre, half-cooked ideas get put up into the market. Yeah. And you know, and a lot of times they fail. Yeah. You know, which is unfortunate, but
it's funny because the reason you have a successful business now is not half-cooked at all. It's overcooked.
Oh yeah.
It's overbaked.
Like burnt.
There it is.
It's a burnt idea.
Callback.
Hi-oh.
Oh man, well
you're welcome.
That's interesting. I mean, it sounds. I've never thought about any of this stuff before. I'm totally outside of that loop. I work in education, so I just go to work and go home and don't think about. I don't work for myself, and so like it's interesting though, because I mean, sort of, it seems like what you're saying is like the problem is the mindset that putting money behind something will make the demand be there, right?
Yeah,
I mean, so you're building like with your business, you're building a sort of community or group of human beings who want to buy your jerky, right? And then you're figuring out a way to meet that demand as opposed to, going really heavy supply side and just sending it out.
Yeah. And I read this guy, his name's Douglas Rushkoff, and he's essentially like a kind of a moral economist. He's not a moral economist, but he's an economist that's got he's got some ethics to him or whatever. Yeah. But he his whole thing is he invests in he always tells people that especially small businesses, independent businesses, that you should invest in like the things around you. Yeah. So like we invest in like really good employees. We pay everybody really well. We have like really cool benefits and stuff. Yeah. And then we also like invest in local farmers. Like there's a sorghum guy in Kentucky. It's like there's like not many people that do what he does. It's like an art. Yeah. So we put a lot of sorghum in our jerky because most jerky has cane sugar in it, and we use sorghum instead. And it's like a Kentucky thing too. Yeah. So we try to invest in a lot of that stuff, and then animal sanctuaries and people that dig animal sanctuaries and that whole thing. So and I think that's the way business should be, and I think that's hopefully the way business is moving. Yeah. Like getting it out of that. I mean, people have known for a long time that like corporations are just lame.
This isn't a new idea.
Right. Yeah, right.
But a lot of people I don't think really know why they think they're lame.
Sure.
Like I think a lot of people just think they're lame because they're powerful. But like they're lame because like, and this kind of is in that book by Douglas Rushkoff. Like he says, like many years ago, when you buy oats for your horse, like in your little small town, there was one guy who made oats, and you knew it. It was Bill's Oats. Yeah. And then people that bought horses from you only bought horses from you, and you were Tom's horses. And they knew you. And then you bought your horseshoes from Greg, and Greg, that's all he did was make horseshoes. So you had this connection, and it was real, and it was personal, and it was intimate, and that got once the trade started coming about, and once people started saying, "Oh, we can get your Bob's Oats over 100 miles from here," then they're like, people weren't comfortable with it. They're like, "I don't know Bob. I'm not going to eat his oats. I'm not going to feed his oats to my horses." Yeah. So they started putting pictures on their brands. So they would look at it and be like, "All right, I kind of have an uncle that looks like Bob, and like he looks like a nice guy. He's smiling, And you got this false impression that you had some sort of intimate connection to your product, and that just snowballed like crazy over the last 100 years to the point where now corporations have funny commercials where they're like, "Oh yeah, this company's got like my sense of humor too. I'm gonna get their insurance."
Sure,
like poopery, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, or they get a celebrity who you have fond memories of from other media, right? Like you watch movies.
Christian Slater.
Yes, just like Christian Slater. That's exactly who I was thinking.
From Cuffs, Christian Slater. Let's be clear.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's really interesting,
And that's so. I'm like a big proponent of independent businesses. Yeah, just in the sense that there's a lot of companies that are swallowing small companies right now, and they've been doing it for a long time. But even more so, we've been contacted by two in the last like year. Not trying to acquire us, but trying. What they're doing now is these big companies like Kraft and Coca-Cola. They are essentially going in and they go to these smaller companies and they say, "Okay, we're gonna mentor you basically and teach you how to grow," and they try to fatten you up by here's how to get into Sam's Club, here's how to get into Target, here's how to, and if your product ends up showing that it works and there is demand for it, and they show you how to grow by investing very little bit of their time and almost an unrecognizable amount of money in you, they fatten you up to the point where now you're big and everybody wants you, like they're like, okay, and then now they'll acquire you.
Interesting.
So but they do this to 100 different companies and 10 of them stick. So that's the whole idea right now, and that's what everybody's doing. And I'm I'm trying to. I go to a lot of food festivals, and I talk to a lot of small independent manufacturers, and we're all kind of the same mindset of like, screw that. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of, it's just really shitty.
Yeah.
And a lot of people won't start a business now unless they have an exit strategy.
Okay.
Like, I'm going to start this business and then sell it in 4 years.
Right.
It's like, I don't know. I don't want to do that at all.
I mean, there is that element of it, like you were talking about, where you know Bob, whereas now you don't know Bob, and Bob hires Amy Schumer to be in a commercial for him, and so you do that. So there's that communal element, and then there's also just the sort of economic question of like, if I buy some sort of vegan jerky that's manufactured somewhere else, that the corporate headquarters is in New York, my money just leaves not only my city but also my state. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Whereas if I buy a local product or an independent product, especially with a conscientious
that's a perfect example. There's I'm trying to create like, actually I haven't, this would be my first active attempt, but I want to create like a Biggie Tupac beef between like the fake jerkies of the world.
Okay. Dude. Yeah, right.
I think it would be awesome.
That's quite funny. That's good.
But there's this company called Primal Strips. They're probably our biggest competitor. And they were there long before us. But they have these like, they're like thin strip. It's like a one thin strip in a package. They're like $1. Okay, 25 or 50,
and they're garbage.
They're disgusting. No, they are shit. But no, like when we came in, that was one of the allures of our jerky, was people like, oh man, Primal's like, it's like one little strip, it's sticky, it pulls apart weird, it doesn't really have a good chew to it.
Yeah,
and then I was talking with somebody one day, and they were like, oh dude, well, and also like, they're not made in the US, so you got that. And I was like, oh, what? And like oh yeah, it's like just like, it's like co-packed in Taiwan, and like some company imports it and just moves it around the country, and they just sell a crap ton of it all over the place. And so we put Made in USA all over all of our stuff, because Primal's our biggest competitor, and they're just not made here in the US. And they are co-packed, and that's like another thing that we don't ever want to do. I like the hand bagged. We sample every batch before we bag it. We have that quality control that most co-packers, I mean, you can't really train somebody to have that kind of oversight over your stuff.
And what's co-packing, just so that
so like a co-packer would be like his uncle that made the chocolate popcorn. He made it in his kitchen, it tastes great. He goes to a co-packer, and this co-packer is in this 40,000 square foot warehouse, and they make TGIF Fridays, popcorn shrimp. They make all kinds of stuff, and you come in with your recipe, and then they make it for you. But a lot of them have minimums. They'll be like, oh well, we have to make you 20,000 bags. That's like how much you have to to use us.
Sure.
So there's cost. There's a lot of cost savings in it. You don't have to invest in a facility. You don't have but you lose so much, because let's say they produce 20,000 bags. You open up a bag and it's not right. Done. You're done. That's what you're putting out in the market, regardless.
So sort of just contracting out your manufacturing.
You don't want to end up with a Primal jerky.
No,
you know it's called Primal. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's a dumb name.
It's
I hate Primal jerky.
No, fuck those guys. No, but yeah,
USA.
It would be really fun. Did you ever see the Mr. Show bit where it was like a sketch where they had like the Fairsleys?
I don't think
it was like so Bob Odenkirk and what's his name? David Cross have just like dueling grocery stores, but they're really passive aggressive, so they just talk shit through commercials to each other. And it's just the commercials going back and forth.
That's amazing.
But like, that's my dream with the jerky world, is to have commercials really just like really subtly, saying stuff about the other guys.
Well, you've come out strong, at least on this podcast about Primal. You've come out very strong.
This is the start of
well, you know,
something
they're not even made here. They're never going to hear.
They're
this.
not. No.
Yeah.
No. I need to find a
let's
U.S.
face it, no one's ever going to hear this. Just kidding. Some people will.
So how did you get into? So we talked about your sort of entrepreneurial side. How did you get into the vegan thing in general? Like,
well, I was
you were ahead of the curve a little bit.
I met this really hot girl that went to Savannah College of Art and Design.
Okay.
And I dated her for like about as long as I was in the Army. And I was like, get me out of here. No, she was vegetarian, and I was like, I was being that guy that always comes up to me and haunts me at the festivals. You know, I was just kind of giving her shit all the time about it. And then we broke up, and she had bought some stuff and left it in my freezer for a cookout.
Yeah.
And I had cooked up some of it. And when I was desperate, when I didn't have anything to eat, and I was like, oh man, like I never tried it because I was always making fun of her about it. And I was like, that was pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
And then I went to the store, and my buddies and I were getting like 2 a.m. food, and I got like these Morningstar chicken nuggets, and I was like, no, you guys gotta try these. They're actually like really good, you know. Yeah. And we took them home, and everybody agreed they were good. They're like, yeah, but you couldn't eat that all the time. I was like, I could eat that all the time. No, you'd want real. And I was like, no, I could do that, you know. And then I don't know, it just started a chain of events. I started like reading Peter Singer and like all these and for like a little bit of a period I think I was a little annoying to be around.
Okay, sure.
I mean, I think I was.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, I was annoying, and then I went through a phase of like, what am I doing? Am I killing my body? Is this terrible for me?
Yeah.
And then I always wanted, my dad's a chef, and he still to this day offers me chicken, and I'm like, and he, oh, right.
Yeah.
But I always wanted like to be taken serious. You know, I think that was like a big drive too, because I just like I think I like disruptive the behavior. Yeah. I just like that. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like the hipster in me.
Yeah.
But I like, you know, I was very drawn to that it was like, oh, this is different or whatever. I was like that with like the music I listen to, the comedy I like, and whatever. Food is no different.
Sort of like contrarian or something, sort of pushing back against whatever.
Yep. And I'm still like that with a lot of things, but I like with this stuff. I don't know. Like I don't. One of the things with the jerky is like, you know, we don't ever preach. You know, there's never anything on the page about, you know, anything that talks about vegan culture or because every other vegan product, I've yet to find one that doesn't do that. Okay. And the comments are full of people arguing. Yeah. And usually they're just vegans arguing amongst each other.
Okay.
But, you know, and it never goes anywhere. Yeah. It's always just like terrible things.
It never comes to a conclusion, and they're just like, oh, we solved it.
No, yeah. And it's every day. It's the same people every day. And I just I got a girl that runs my social media stuff, and I'm like, you know, just keep it positive. You know, if anybody comes on there trying to do anything, like, I'll jump in there and take care of it. Yeah. We had this one girl one time that said, oh man, she said something like, I went up and bought a bag and, you know, couldn't believe how terrible it was. It was so awful. And it was a paragraph, and she was like, said something about, like, that. She was like, oh, I can't believe there was so much hype around this product. Was how she ended it. That was like her. So I just responded. I was like, "We have hype." Like that was it.
Nice.
I didn't say anything else. Like, and she was like, she responded back to me, and she was like, said something like, it was just like tasted like dog food, and it was just really terrible. And I'm shocked that something like that this bad could make it to market. Or something like that.
So you're saying everyone likes this except for me. The hype is real. Like, so you're saying the problem might be you?
Right. Yeah.
I hate her.
But shout out to her, seriously.
Yeah.
No, but again,
shout out Chelsea.
I've been.
Is her name Chelsea?
There's something like that, Miranda or something.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I don't know. Like I know even what we were talking about earlier. Like this stuff really does, it doesn't really faze me anymore. Like, so we get comments like that all the time. I don't even remember why I brought that up. I know I had a point there. Either way,
we were talking about getting into veganism, and then we went into what did we talk about after that?
Yeah,
how did we get to social media?
We talked about your dad offering you chicken,
right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, come on, Dad, I still don't eat chicken.
Right.
And then you're like, I'm rebellious, okay?
Yeah.
This is me. This is who I am.
Yeah. Well, regardless, I think what I was trying to say was that I got into vegetarianism, for those reasons, but kind of hung on for a while. I was talking about keeping the Facebook page positive.
Yeah.
And if anybody is being like shitty, I usually just get in there and mess with them.
Yeah.
Just because that's the best way to deal with them. Because I mean, there was like some Arby's did some campaign where they were like they gave up this like real hotline number you could call in and talk to a therapist about how much you missed meat if you're a vegetarian.
Wow.
Which I thought was pretty funny.
That is funny.
I mean, that's pretty funny. Like, why? And every vegan blog product page was like, look at this disgusting campaign, and people were just, so angry about it. And it's just like, you guys, stop it. Like, this is, but I don't know. I think a lot of veganism is, a lot of people have it kind of attach their egos to it in a way, or they're whatever, so they can take stuff very personal.
Sure.
Or whatever, which I definitely do not.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Yeah. So do you guys you said you go to like jerky festivals and stuff. Do you go to like vegan?
We go to food festivals.
Food festivals in general.
But they usually put us next to other, like, they'll put us next to the deer jerky or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Or we did some Lexington food show a little while ago, and I mean, we had people with no teeth. I mean, literally no teeth coming up, and they're like, "This is the only jerky I've been able to eat."
Oh, nice.
I'm like, all right, awesome.
That makes sense.
Cool. But we even have another thing on our box that says like, "This stuff is good as shit." And it's just like a quote from a meat eater or whatever. But
That's good. That's very good.
We had a guy at the flea off market that came up and said those words verbatim, and like we all lost it because we were like, sir, that's on our box.
Sir.
It's pretty funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
Man, if that's what dog food tastes like, sign me up, man.
Apparently that's the next trend right now. It's called something like, I don't know, I can't remember. There's a word for it, and it's a new sticker with a new logo that's starting to be put on, where they're dog and human, like they're like treats you could share with each other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's like a big thing. We got approached by some company that's trying to do that, and we were like, look, we already get that enough of this looks like dog food stuff. We don't need to literally be making
encourage
yeah. But I mean, there's like a couple things you just want to avoid with dogs. I think it's like corn and some of those other ingredients. That's what makes it where you can both eat it. But
gotcha.
I don't know if we'll ever get into that.
My dog and I share marshmallows.
Okay. Right.
Do you have a greyhound?
No, he's a pit bull.
Oh, okay.
He super allergic to a lot of things, a lot of grains and stuff. So our vet said that a good treat for him would be marshmallows. Yeah. For whatever reason. And so we would, I'd eat one and then I'd toss him one. And
yeah. That's really sweet.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. Hey, well, it's funny because we give our greyhound marshmallows.
Really?
But greyhounds are trained as puppies. They put marshmallows on strings on the back of golf carts. And they drive them, and the greyhounds chase marshmallows. Oh. So if you go in my house with a marshmallow, my greyhound her whole world lights up.
Yeah.
And she'll just melt right into you if she sees a marshmallow. I think it's like it brings up her childhood.
Right.
Good years.
It's that nostalgia factor.
When I come over to check out your podcast studio, I might
bring some marshmallows. Don't bring those little bullshit hot chocolate marshmallows. I'm talking about the big boys.
Yeah, the last Jumbos. Ones we were eating, we got a package, the new, what are they called? Like the marshmallow brand, like
Stay Puff? No.
Yeah, Stay Puft. But they make s'mores shaped marshmallows now.
What's that?
They're like about yay big.
Oh,
and
they're like for
flat.
a s'more?
Oh, that's cool.
They're not like super flat. They're just flat enough.
So it
to
helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Tiff and I we went out and made a fire. We went like out on the lake and made a fire and took those in a dry bag or whatever.
That's a smart idea.
And you just put it right on top of the chocolate, and then it squishes perfectly. You don't have to have the perfectly
nice. Yeah.
I love this world we live in.
Yeah.
Everything is getting so customized, curated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many products coming out like that, and I love what Triscuits are doing. Like they're just like a million flavors, and they're like smoked Gouda, Kalamata olive, creme brulee flavor. And you're just like, yes, like it's so awesome.
I just kind of wonder how many times the sentence "I love what Triscuits are doing" has been said just
in
today.
my house.
Oh, in your house.
I mean, a lot. I mean, a whole lot.
What else did I want to bring up? I wanted to bring something up. Oh yeah, you're married to
Sarah.
Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah is acted in Bagged and Board.
Yep.
Episode 5. She's Zoe's sister.
For real?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's cool.
When we became friends on Facebook, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
I met Sarah. We met. Our anniversary is our first date is in like a month and a half. It was like almost 9 years ago.
Oh wow, cool.
But yeah, we met through. I met her in the dark, pitch dark. I was out on the front porch of my friend's house.
7 minutes in heaven.
Yeah. No, she was there when I showed up, and she was in a shadow, she was talking about some hip hop dance video, workout video that she was doing, and I was just like, and we were there was a bunch of people on the porch drinking and talking, and I just was like, we were having a good time and laughing together, and we left, and then I was like, man, I wonder if that girl's pretty or not.
Yeah.
I wonder if I was attracted to her.
Right,
I was
right,
thinking,
yeah,
I was like, or if I would, because I did not see her.
Right,
I could not really make out a face at all.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
That is pretty.
Yeah. And I mean, it sounds a little shallow. I didn't mean it like that though. I was just like, you don't know if you're attracted.
No, yeah, totally.
So,
the important stuff's like really, really clicking right now.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
yeah. So so I called my buddy and I was like, hey, who's that girl over in the shadow? And he was like, oh yeah, it's Sarah. She worked at Heine Brothers and this wine shop at the time. So I was like, oh, okay, well, we should go up and he was like, well, she's working at this wine place. We should go up and see her tomorrow. I was like, all right. We go up and see her, and I immediately, she was the only. I think there was one other person behind the bar, but I knew it was her. And we started talking. I gave her some ridiculous tip. It was $20 or something. And I was like, it was and I did not have any money to be doing that. But I was just I wanted her to remember me. And I remember leaving, being like, that is not the way to get anybody to remember me. That's terrible. But I just whatever. I just did it.
Yeah.
But then I found out she was dating a friend of mine.
Oh, I hate that guy.
Yeah. And he was a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And they're like, she's dating Ben, which you might know Ben Owens. I think he's done some stuff with, I don't know.
I feel like I should.
Yeah. He still does a bunch of acting stuff around town. But anyways, I heard they were dating, and they were like, but they're on the fritz. I was like, oh, all right, cool.
Okay,
all right,
nice.
Well, I just left a $20 tip.
Yeah.
So should be smooth.
Ben's
sailing.
like, why'd you tip my girlfriend $20?
I didn't know, man.
Yeah. It was a really good glass of wine.
Yeah.
But no, then they broke up, and then I heard she was moving to we went to a 48-hour film festival that we both worked on.
Oh, cool.
And we were talking, and I was kind of putting the feelers out there, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm moving to California in a month," and I was like, "What?" Like, she's like, yeah, I'm moving to Blue Lake. And I was
why would you do that?
yeah. Well, what? You just broke up. You're single. Why would you do that? And so we just started hanging out like crazy. And then she moved to California for about as long as I was in the Army. And then came back to Louisville. And, that was that.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it's been great. We moved to Philadelphia for a little while and did our thing up there. And she does a lot. She gets a ton of acting gigs, and she loves that whole life, of doing auditions and working on stuff like that and board and
totally.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's super cool. Well, tell us about your, because when we met you, you guys started talking about, and I'm not a tech guy, so like my eyes, I was just like, cool, man. Like, I'm in. You guys enjoy this. But you guys were talking about like musical equipment and like home recording and stuff like that. So, have you been more into that recently, or
no?
Into it in a different way? Or?
I was 17 years old and was prank calling radio stations with my friends. And we would do it really late at night. Yeah. And we would just like call and like fuck with these like overnight guys.
Yeah.
And we weren't, saying mean things and hanging up. We would try to keep them on as long as possible.
Right.
And we'd like, I don't remember what the prank was. I think we would just call and just try to have weird conversations,
Right.
Because you're supposed to call and request a song.
Sure.
We wouldn't do that. And then, this one time this guy was like, he knew we were kind of busting his balls, and he was just like, man, if you guys ever want to come down here and check out the studio, you're welcome. Come down. I was like, what?
Oh,
like,
nice.
Seriously? Like, yeah. And it was like 2 a.m. We're like, okay. And like we all drove down there, and we went up in there, and we were up like at 99.7 DJX, and it was awesome.
And they had knives.
Yeah. No, but we got to play in the studio and stuff, and my friends and I started recording like rap songs.
Yeah.
And because like we didn't know how to play instruments, and we had like beats that were downloaded on like LimeWire.
Nice.
And this was 1999.
Yeah.
This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And so but that got my gears turning, and like we started like building. I got like Acid, Sony Acid 1.0, not the drug. And I started
it can be a drug.
Yeah. We started recording on that, and I had a bunch of friends, and like we were just kind of messing around, and did that for a while, and then my dad bought me a Roland AX1 keytar for Christmas one year when it was not that cool. The 80s hadn't come back yet.
Right.
And so he got it for like $150, and then my friend and I, a buddy of mine who I'm still one of my best friends. We made this fake band called Samson Meets the Night, and we were kind of parodying all like Postal Service.
Okay. Because
all of our friends were really into it, and we were kind of into it too. But like, but we were just like, hey, let's like make up this band that's like it sounds like them, but we'll just pretend they've existed forever. And this is before the internet was what the internet is.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, so we had like a SoundClick page, and like we're like put up this fake band and made up a fake bio. And it was just like this like indie pop band. The page still exists.
Nice.
And our music is still there. But it was really awesome, and it was like super fun, and we made this like, I don't know, it was like 6-song EP or something. And then I just started recording a bunch and like taking piano lessons a lot, and then started this band called You're My Density, which is that. Again, now the Back to the Future is like really big.
Yeah.
I mean, it was big, but it felt obscure to me at the time when I made up that name, which is not anymore. But and then I made like, but I was doing like the whole mostly one man thing, just doing the vocals and all the other instruments, from the keyboard, all drums, everything, and. I did that for a long time. That was like, I mean, you know what it's like, especially at that age when it's like, I would come home from delivering pizzas or working in the bars at like midnight, and I would be up till 8 a.m. working on songs.
Right.
Probably 6 days a week.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's just all I did.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, and it's all I wanted to do, and I was just like, I'm never gonna grow out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I would just get drunk and smoke cigarettes all night playing music.
Yeah.
And like that was just all. It was, but even now, like I've got an upright piano that it was passed on for many generations in my family or whatever.
Yeah.
But I got it now, and I still play the hell out of that thing. And then anytime if I have a friend doing something like a short film or like a commercial or whatever it is, if they want me to make some music, I'm like, oh my god, yes, like I'd love doing that stuff. And I would much rather create that kind of instrumental loop track stuff nowadays anyways. Like I wouldn't want to like do like a singing album.
Try to do like pop songs or something, or not pop.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pop in the broad sense.
I mean, maybe I would. Maybe I did enjoy that a lot. But even now, like I'm gonna be 34. I'm married. I don't have any I don't really have. You went back 10 years ago. I just had so much, or at least I felt like I had so much I wanted to say or do or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But now I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
I'd much rather, but I still love working on music.
Sure.
It's still one of my favorite things.
I get that. I get you, man.
Yeah.
It does when you're doing that thing. I mean, I know what you're talking about. Like you talk about, just pouring hours and hours into working on that stuff and being like, well, this is just what I'm going to do. This is just, this is just it.
It was so great. You remember driving around in your car after you made a track? You burned it to a CD.
Yeah, always car
drive around and just, I would drive around delivering pizzas listening to the same track on repeat.
Sure.
Just over and over. And, by the time you get home, you've got 100 changes you need to make right when you get in the door. You're just like, and you don't even have to write them down. You just know exactly where they're all at. Yeah.
When the masses are listening to this, I want them to listen to it the way I want it.
I want it to be perfect.
When my mom hears this, I want it to be perfect.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, what kind of stuff are you listening to nowadays?
I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place, but I like. I got really into let's see. I still listen to a lot of Destroyer or like Casio Tone for the Painfully Alone. I don't know if you ever listen to that guy.
No.
I'm like really into him. And then I'm still into a lot of like hip hop stuff. But like, there's this guy named Serengeti that I'm obsessed with.
I've heard that name. I don't listen to him.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He's really awesome. I listen to a lot of that. And anything like, for a long time I was like really into pretty much anything Anticon put out, the label, or Drag City. Listen to a lot of Silver Jews, Bonnie Prince Billy, stuff like that.
Yeah, I got to do a buddy of mine was filming his. He played at a home skate shop.
Yeah.
Like probably almost a year ago now, and I got to record audio, and that was pretty fun.
Yeah. It's so crazy. I'll see him sitting Indian style at the post office reading his mail. I'm like, all right. Like, it's all right, man.
He's super cool. Like there's just something about like he's who he is.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just weird, seeing people like that of such he's just such a legend.
Yeah.
And especially outside of Louisville. I mean, and I think his music's going to get, as the years go on, probably be reflected on by next generations as more. But yeah, it's just weird to see people like that in nature.
Yeah,
just
right.
Like at Kroger.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just so neat that we live in a town where that happens.
Yeah,
or whatever.
That's true.
Totally.
That's very true.
You got to play with that synthesizer anymore?
I plugged it in. I played with it a little bit. My keyboard is I told you, it's a piece of crap.
Yeah.
It's just I want to get something kind of like what you got. That's got a little bit more dedication towards MIDI.
Yeah.
My keyboard I have, the Yamaha, is like I think it's like a second thought was MIDI, and you got to move around a lot of stuff, and it was just kind of messy.
Yeah.
No arpeggiator or anything like that. So
got to get that arpeggiator.
You got to have the arpeggiator. Yeah.
This synthesizer, it's a
for sure
Yamaha. Like, what's the T?
Yeah, it's like T163. I don't know. It's
ADC.
I'm like absolutely obsessed with like vintage electronics, and it can be anything.
Yeah.
Like one of the coolest things I ever saw was like I've got an antenna, a TV antenna for a Game Gear.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and you just like pop it in the cartridge.
Yeah.
And it's a
Oh
TV.
my God.
Yeah, and like I've got my entire basement is full of this stuff. I mean, it's gotten to a point where it's like completely out of control.
Yeah.
But like I have a device where you could, if you had an 8-track player in your car, you could pop it in and then you could pop a tape into it.
Oh wow.
Cassette tape.
Nice. Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
so I have a lot of like little gadgets
That's very
like that.
obscure,
Yeah.
And then I mean, I one time bought a guy had a Laserdisc video store in the 80s, and he closed it when Blockbuster came into town, and Laserdisc didn't take off. Yeah. And he moved his entire collection that he had alphabetized, and he'd put numbers on each one. It was all categorized and everything. Moved into his basement, and he was getting very old, and his kids were helping him move into a smaller place. So they were selling his lot of 1,000 Laserdiscs on Craigslist for $350. Dude. And I rented a van and drove up there and bought
oh my God
1,000 Laserdiscs.
They're so heavy and hard to like.
Dude, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's like vinyl, but it's like even heavier than vinyl.
Yeah.
And I already have a ton of vinyl.
Yeah,
so
amazing.
Sarah was not very happy when I came home with all this, but I was like, hey, like, look, check this out.
Yeah.
So, but she got
$50.
Yeah, she got into it though, and like we went through and like, I mean, out of 1,000, I probably kept 100.
Yeah.
That were like, just great movies. Where I'm like, man, these like I have to own these on Laserdisc.
Sure.
Because Laserdisc actually does look really cool.
Oh yeah.
Like it kind of looks like has that cinematic feel of VHS, where it's like just not perfect.
Yeah,
just
right.
Kind of like what they were trying to make Kung Fury look like.
Yeah.
It just has that
Totally.
look naturally to it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I really like that. But I sold the rest on eBay. The other 900 Laserdiscs. And ended up making like a couple $1,000s. It was awesome.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I have like tons of that stuff. So that gets me. So my favorite movie, probably my all-time favorite movie, is Hackers.
Oh yeah, nice.
And I think it's because it just takes me back. The minute that movie starts, I can like I'm like 15 years old.
Yeah.
Like my heyday.
Yeah.
Where I was just like, I had cargo shorts that had floppy disks in them. I was really into AOL hacking programs. I traded Whereas on a like daily basis. And I was just, it was just the happiest time. I don't want to say happy, but that nostalgic.
Nice.
Go back.
Nostalgic, yeah.
And every time I hear that Orbital song on the Hacker soundtrack, I mean, my mind goes into it. Like I could lay in a room for the rest of my life and listen to that song on repeat.
Yeah.
I love that song. It's ridiculous. It's like 10 minutes long too. But I just absolutely love that song. And like, even as somebody who's made music for a long time, it still blows me away. Like when I hear that, I'm like, how would anybody even go to make this song?
Yeah.
With the amount of samples in it, and it's just so random. I don't know. It's just the weirdest song. It's like it got an Enya vibe to it.
Sure.
But like, but no. So I'm on this subreddit that's like all about cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Which is really lame, but somebody posted up that video and they were like, man, this is like, the song is cyberpunk. And I'm just like looking over like, man, I could not agree more. But somebody was like, oh man, that whole or a lot of those people back in the 90s made those songs like Chemical Brothers and all them with this synthesizer, and it was that Yamaha or whatever. So I looked on eBay and there was like 2 on there, and one of them, or I bid on both of them, and one slipped out from my fingers. Somebody beat me by like $1.
Yeah.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens.
So I did. I pulled a rich guy move, which I'm not a rich guy, but I pulled a rich guy move, and I pulled up an eBay sniper program, and I just put $500 in there. I was like, whatever, like it's not going to go for this much, but I just know this guy's not going to beat me by $1. Yeah. And but I got it for like $120.
Yeah.
So not bad.
It sounds great.
It's like, amazing.
It's super warm and like you can't get that sound out of a plugin.
Right.
You just can't do it.
Right. You
can try.
Right.
You won't.
Right, and it's not one of those things that you hear people say those things about either.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to have a trained ear to hear the difference.
Yeah,
You walk in the room, you're going to hear it immediately.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like there's a different vibration to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it just, it sounds so fucking cool.
Yeah. Sounds great.
And I would love to have more of that kind of stuff around me. Because, I feel like that's all I had growing up was digital synthesizer or software.
Yeah.
You know, you were always dealing with latency issues and whatever else problems were going on. And, you know, a lot of the music we were making didn't have that depth.
Yeah.
And you always wonder, like, why doesn't this sound like the stuff that they made in the 80s, like, or the 90s? Like, why doesn't it sound like, this is a crucial element that's missing.
Yeah.
Because it's software.
And you can emulate it all day long, but, I mean, at the end of the day, like, there's just something magic about, you know, that old hardware stuff.
Right.
So,
Totally.
it's good.
Totally.
Yeah, my bug, like, I caught the bug. Like, I've got that Moog in there, but you brought, I was like, I gotta find, like, another one on eBay.
Yeah.
I gotta start looking into all these, like, kind of, like, you know, classic, affordable synthesizers, and I'm just gonna ruin my life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Have you ever been on shopgoodwill.com?
No.
Oh, my goodness. Nope.
You guys. Go on there. It's going to change your... I mean, it changed my life.
Does it just kind of skim Goodwill's? Like,
no, so Goodwill as a company is now actively posting up stuff that's donated, and it's very active. And you know, I've found insane stuff on there, and you know, sometimes you get lucky and pay way under eBay value for something that's really cool that not a lot of people are after.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you get into some pissing war, just like you do on eBay.
Yeah, sure.
And you're like, oh, all right, am I really going to pay $116 for this Bad News Baseball Nintendo cartridge? But it's like a treasure trove of like cool stuff, and you can you go to the electronic section, and you know, sort it by a bunch of different things. And there's just lots of cool stuff on there. You as a collector, you'd probably love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to take
awesome.
that as your plug for the show.
You're right.
Everyone.
It's brought to you by shopgoodwill.com.
Shopgoodwill.com.
We should actually do plugs, though. You should actually plug your stuff for real. So.
Absolutely.
So
open up check out that box.
We're going to open this box up. We've got some faces on the box. Vegan Jerky Company, Louisville, EST 2012.
Yeah. So that box is the box that we send out. We do like this Jerky of the Month club.
Okay.
So we do a new flavor every month.
Oh, nice.
And then you get 2 flavors of the regular stuff.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Let's see. So on the back it says keep it fake. Vegan Jerky Company.
Yeah, you see on that side flap when you pull it open?
This one?
The other one.
Okay, that's the find us on Facebook, Twitter,
yeah, that's got like the social.
This shit is vegan.
Yeah,
meat eater.
Yeah,
but it's got a question mark and an exclamation point.
Oh, I see.
Right.
This shit is vegan.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sometimes it's funnier to use the
signs.
signs, the symbols. It's funnier if it's censored. I don't know why.
Yeah.
At least it feels that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I've never. What's this? I've never seen. What are these?
So
where have I been?
We're doing this thing where you can vote.
Let's see.
We're actually doing it right now too. The public votes on the flavor.
Ooh. Wow.
So they picked pepperoni.
Yeah.
So we made 5,000 bags. So you see on the front it says number 3,000 or whatever.
Yeah, 3,514 out of 5,000.
Yeah. So each bag is
edition.
variant printed.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
This is super
very cool. Yeah, it's a great idea.
So
perfect pepperoni jerky.
When we're done, like right now we're on number 3,800. So we're doing another voting thing for the next flavor.
Sweet.
Gotcha.
And then we'll make 5,000 of that and move on to the next flavor.
And then you've got your
I put 2 really collector edition pins in there.
These are super.
We only
sweet.
made 700 of those.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
And we're giving away for the Jerky of the Month Club members.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
I might have to.
And this one has
Jerky of the Month Club.
this one has a sweet This is Kansas City barbecue.
That's this month's flavor. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the stickers. Very like. How would you describe that? Like the design on that is
Yeah,
great.
it's
Almost like a secret file kind of vibe to it. you
Well,
know?
I think it's kind of trendy right now. It's like kind of that apothecary,
right. Yeah.
vintage look that plays really well in Louisville with all the bourbon history and
Yeah,
all that
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
And that's kind
a
of
great call.
all of our
So you're
branding is kind of surrounded around that.
So these are your regular flavors. You've got Pete's bourbon smoked black pepper,
Right.
Paulette's
That's my mom.
maple.
Nice.
That was going to be my question. Like, where do these?
This is literally my mom.
Todd's bourbon smoked chipotle. So that's your mom.
Mm-hmm. Well, so Pete was the first one. That's the red bag.
Okay.
And he is Pete Browning. He's he was a Louisville Colonel baseball player in the 1800s.
Oh, nice.
He's buried in Cave Hill Cemetery.
Yeah.
He was, really interesting guy. I'm reading a book on him right now.
Yeah.
That's a biography. That's kind of goes through a lot of the interesting parts of his life. I mean, and he was just really, really tragic dude. Died in his 40s from alcoholism.
Oh yeah.
But he had this disease where he had these like deafening headaches, and he started drinking bourbon when he was like 12.
Wow.
And it helped.
Kind of eased.
Yeah.
And then he started playing baseball when he was still in high school, and he was drunk, and was hitting 400. I mean, not at that early age, but he did hit 400 twice in his career.
Yeah.
Drunk.
Wow.
Yeah, just crazy.
Yeah.
But nobody knows who he is. I mean, people know who he is, definitely.
Yeah.
But the mass majority of people, when they look at that package, they have no idea who he is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then the blue package is Todd Browning, and that's Pete Browning's nephew.
Okay.
And he directed the first Dracula,
Oh wow.
the black and white one.
Yeah.
That everybody's seen.
Yeah.
He did the movie called Freaks.
Okay.
So we get a lot of like
Very cool.
horror convention people that email us and say, dude, can we get some of that Todd Browning jerky? And they know who Todd Browning is.
Yeah.
But
That's
again, he was born, raised, and lived in Louisville. Did all of his work out of Louisville.
Wow.
super cool. Yeah.
Buried in Cave Hill as well.
So, what would you suggest we crack open and try on
The
the
Kansas
podcast?
City barbecue.
Kansas City barbecue
is that bag was made today.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is this month's flavor. It's kind of weird. So let me just warn you.
Yeah.
It's a little saucy,
Okay.
and which all of our jerky is very dry.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
This stuff's a little saucy.
Okay.
So just when you're
I'm gonna get a drink of water real quick to
Okay.
wash
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
nasty halls. out
Yeah.
of
Get
my-
that halls out of your mouth. Yeah.
But we've had this is our third variation of barbecue that we've done. We did a kimchi barbecue,
Okay.
and then we did a Carolina barbecue a few months ago,
Yeah.
and we just get great responses. People love that, so we thought, well, we'll just keep doing different. There's like Memphis barbecue,
Sure.
and there's even Kentucky barbecue, and
Yeah.
there's so many different types of barbecue to explore. So this is that
Smells amazing.
that kind of classic Kansas City recipe.
Yeah. It smells super good.
But did you ever eat?
Oh my god, it smells great.
That smells great. Yeah.
Did you ever eat that like KFC barbecue popcorn bites or whatever?
I don't think I did.
When I was in high school, I was like way into it. And that's what this reminds me of. Like it kind of tastes like barbecue chicken, doesn't it?
That was really good. Yep.
It tastes like dog food.
Nice.
Dude, that's
That was really good.
that's really fantastic.
That really is good. Here.
Thanks.
Um,
we were talking about possibly dropping some of that
Give me a
off
little
for some restaurants around town.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Because you can put that on a bun. I'm telling you.
Oh.
And you saute it.
Totally. You could.
We do it all the time, and with this kind of stuff, and it, we won that competition with pretty much a barbecue. I mean, it was sautéed instead of baked like we did that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's the exact same thing. We were parked right next to Mom's Barbecue and North End Cafe, and they were doing the pork buns as well.
It's a real deal because you have to
like it.
kind of lick your fingers. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
The
Yeah.
sauciness is great. Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
here's my confession.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we first met and we became friends, you're like, "Yeah, send me your address. Let me send you a box of jerky." You
Yeah.
did. You
Yeah.
sent me an entire box of jerky.
Yeah.
I shared with no one.
Yeah, nice.
2 days, like in my office, I
There
just
you go.
kept the box tucked underneath my desk, and it was all gone. And,
That's
a couple
awesome.
days.
Nice. That's super good.
You
It's so good.
Didn't Primal send you some jerky? You just tasted it. You threw it away, right?
Yeah, I spat it out.
Yeah.
Promptly sent them a handwritten letter.
Right. I thought I remember
tastes
hearing
like
you say
shit.
that.
Like
Yeah,
typically,
smelled it.
I don't piss on the floor.
Right.
But
Typically. Yeah.
what I had spat was on the floor, and I pee-peed on it.
Yeah. Right.
Well, no, you said that like the jerky made made you pee.
right.
Like,
Right,
like
that's the weird
uncontrollably.
thing.
Immediately.
Yeah, it
No, I've
forces-
heard that a lot about that
forces
jerky.
your bladder it constricts your bladder
Right.
immediately.
Right.
You don't
Yeah.
have to swallow it. I didn't swallow it. I would not swallow that.
Yeah, I could say you if you got on Amazon, you wouldn't see any review like that about our jerky.
Right.
Right. But I mean, yeah, Primal definitely. I have heard that does weird things to people's bodies. But
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're not saying it's true. You're just asking the question.
Oh no.
You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
No, I don't
Just-
know.
Yeah.
I mean, I would never eat that.
I mean,
stuff,
who knows
so I don't
about
know.
that? Yeah, right.
But
The only way you would find out would be to find out the wrong way,
Right.
and you don't want to do that.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah. Better not to chance it.
Yeah.
So you guys have your own warehouse now, right? Your own.
I just got a new warehouse
Okay.
2 weeks ago, and it looks like an airplane hangar. There's no columns in it; it's just wide open.
Yeah.
It's so tall, and the garage door is like probably bigger than this wall.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just massive. You could drive a UPS truck in there and you'd still have a ton of room.
Mm-hmm.
So you could, it's just a huge place. So we're planning on doing all of our distribution because a lot of companies move into these, with these other companies that do distribution for you, which we do have distributors.
Yeah.
But we also we have better success dealing one-on-one with our buyers.
Sure. Yeah.
And having that relationship.
Yeah.
So we're trying to really feed that part of our business to allow us to self-distribute and sell. So we've got this huge warehouse where we'll be able to store all of our jerky in and all of our... we have so many supplies. I mean, we have 3 different boxes we ship in, and we have 5,000 of those on hand at all times.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have so we have so many pallets, and our current facility is just busting at the seams with supplies and jerky and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just got that one, and we're about. I want to say, I think we've got a total of 10,000 square feet now between the two places.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's bigger than Dunder Mifflin.
Yeah.
You know?
Very good.
What is that?
Very good.
Is that a
Very good.
Yeah, it's
American Office reference?
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I didn't watch that show.
No.
Well, here's the thing. If it's made in America,
I feel like.
right?
Yeah, no, you're right. But it's like one of those weird things where, like, I feel like American Office was like the Primal jerky,
I see.
and like I think the British Office was like the Louisville
Yeah,
Vegan
well,
Jerky,
like the
which is
reverse.
weird how it
you
switches
wait
like that. But
until
that's how food does.
You wait until American Jim looks into the camera, which is your eyes and your soul,
Right.
and has that half smile and that little like smirk on his face
American Jim.
because of some prank he pulled on American Dwight. But he actually kind of cares for him, and they all kind of care for each other, but they don't want each other to know because
Right.
this is like American workplace.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you just wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Did you hear about the non-American Office movie they're making for Netflix?
Oh, I did
I
hear
did,
about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
David Brent's like
Yeah.
musician.
Yeah, who
Okay.
cares, right?
Following.
Who cares about
Hey,
it?
I care. I don't really
I do
like
care.
Ricky Gervais anymore. I don't think.
Yeah.
I'm a little over him.
I could take him or leave him. It's never like it's never I've started to dislike him. It's just I've gradually
I think
cared less.
he's become a little annoying.
Yeah.
Are you over Steve Carell? No.
Yeah, a
no,
little bit.
you're not.
A little bit.
You're
Little
not.
bit?
A little bit.
You're-
Little
all
bit.
right.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I felt like Ricky Gervais loved extras,
Right.
and then he put out that awful movie. What was it? The one
Which
like
movie? The
invention of-
first lie. Or
yeah. Oh my god! And then he was
Invention
just
of lying,
he
yeah.
got on that whole, I'm an atheist.
He just
train.
wanted to talk about religion all the time.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
Yeah, that was a
And
little.
I don't believe in
that was a
God,
little-
but I'm
that was a
like,
little
dude,
tiring.
shut up.
But yeah, but just
Like-
just calm down. Like,
Stop
Leave it alone, sir.
You sound like an 18-year-old who just figured out that there might not be a God.
Exactly. Yeah.
That jerky is everything.
It was very good.
Nice.
It's so good.
Yeah, you should try the pepperoni one.
Okay.
All right. Let's do that.
This one this one won the contest, the voting contest we had last time.
My hands
so that's
are
why
so
I made it.
saucy.
I know. But this stuff we've made pizzas out of. We made calzones.
I have to take a piece of this home and let them try it.
Oh yeah, and actually, you know what? We actually accidentally made 200 bags more than we were supposed to, so I can send you guys another box.
Happy accident.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
God, that's so good.
But this one, I had been missing the flavor of pepperoni for some time, and they don't really have any vegetarian pepperoni out there.
Yeah.
So I took the recipe for pepperoni, the actual recipe for pepperoni, and took the curing process out of it and just used soy sauce in replacement for that salt.
Oh, okay.
But the flavor of like pepperoni, it comes like a couple seconds after.
It's on the back end, yeah.
Yeah. But you taste it, right? It's
Definitely.
It's like a perfect blend of like fennel, crushed red pepper, what is it?
Whatever the hell's in pepperoni.
Right. But it's very specific, and you got to hit it like right on the money. Because we had a couple. Oh, we didn't grind the fennel the first time we made it, so it wasn't really in the mix, and it didn't taste like pepperoni.
Gotcha.
The minute we ground that, and it's all kind of orchestrated. You know, it's like, man, there it is. It tastes like pepperoni.
Yeah, that totally works.
And if you saute it up and put it on a pizza, I'm telling you, it's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's super good.
Man.
Here's the thing that's so for those of you who are weary of eating this kind of food. First of all, stop it. Second of all,
unless it's primal strips,
right? Yeah, you don't.
Then stop that.
Yeah, you want to pee your pants. You want to pee in your pants. But a lot of it can be a texture thing for people. Like when you think of tofu and you're afraid of tofu, you're like, oh, tofu's squishy and gross.
Yeah.
This stuff it's like chewy. It's like there's friction. It's not just squishing in your mouth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yeah,
it's great.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I think vegan food on the world for up until the last 10 years ago was very much. I mean, still is in some ways, but like The Boy Who Cried Wolf, like they're like, you know, you'd be like, oh, try this thing. It tastes just like cheese.
Oh,
and you're like,
yeah.
Right.
And then people still have PTSD from that stuff from those years.
Oh, absolutely.
And like so, you know, when we get people that are in their 50s or late 40s, 50s. They've been burned so many times by, oh no, try this, it tastes just like jerky.
Yeah,
they're like, no.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so it's hard kind of getting over that hump.
You just have to say, you want to try my jerky? Yeah, I'll try your jerky.
Yeah, right.
Psych, you idiot.
Right.
You liked it, didn't you?
That's why you're not a salesman.
Yeah.
No, that's super good. Well, Stan, thanks for being on. Where are we time-wise? Are we wrapping up? I feel like we've been going
we're
for
over an hour, I think.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on.
This was awesome.
Yeah, this was a great time. You should plug your stuff. Where can people find it if they're listening in Louisville or wherever?
So everything's kind of, you can go to the website, just LVJCO or Louisville Vegan Jerky Company spelled out. Either one. They both go to the website, .com. And then there's like a button for the Jerky of the Month Club. There's our Facebook or Twitter. Everything's on there. So you can kind of start there.
Totally.
And, you know, we sell it on Amazon and, you know, all those places.
Very cool.
So, but yeah, if you start on the website, that's the easiest place to find it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to want it. Yeah. Mom, listen.
You are.
Listen, my parents are like really, like, they're really like at a place in their life where they're like, my dad's like really connecting to like animals and the idea of like every time he like picks up a burger and eating it, like it's like I think affecting him a little bit.
Yeah, understandably.
And like, yeah, you got to buy some of this, Mom and Dad.
That's interesting that your parents are there, because I mean I think that's happening. I hear that a lot from like millennials,
right?
And like younger generations. I kind of felt that for a long time. I still do. I still would feel that way if I was eating a burger for sure. But I know most people, you know, kind of move past that at some point in their life. You know, as so that's interesting.
Yeah. It's super interesting. Yeah,
definitely.
So.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, we will definitely have you back on. This has been fun.
Yeah.
If you
Thanks for having me.
Want to do it at some point in the future.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, check them out. And, thanks. This
guys.
was fun. Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks, guys. This was awesome.
All right. Bye.
Thank you for listening, DNN.